Hey guys. So I have made some changes recently in the way I do my makeup, and I want to share those with you because if you were looking at a list of products that I use, I tried to put like in parentheses what I'm using products for because I don't always use them, we'll say, the traditional way that people use them. I like to experiment a lot with my makeup and the way I apply it. And as I go along, I find different ways of doing things that work for me. And, I'm constantly making changes. So today I just want to go over some of the things that I'm doing now that I wasn't doing before. So what should I start with? Let's start with powder, pressed powder, and the way I apply it. I pretty much use the Rimmel Stay Matte powder to set my foundation every day. And I find sometimes my powder can look a little cakey or overdone. And it's not the fault of the powder. It's just I like to play around with different foundations. So sometimes I'll use a heavy foundation, sometimes I'll use a light foundation, sometimes I use a medium one. And I used to use an e.l.f. powder brush, and that picks up a lot of product on the brush. So what I'm doing now is I'm using a stippling brush, and it looks crazy right now because I just washed it. But this is just a MAC 187, I believe is the number. And so, yeah, this doesn't pick up that much product when you put it in the powder, and I just kind of stipple it on top of my foundation. And if I'm using a light foundation, then I can just go back and put a little more on. But if I'm using a heavy foundation, a very light application of powder is really, all you need. So that's what I'm doing now. That's one change that I've made. Another change that I've made is I've stopped using that L'Oreal anti-redness correcting primer. Not because it wasn't good, but just because I like to keep trying different things. So what I'm doing now, instead of using that, is I'm putting on NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer. And what this is this is a really heavy, thick, like paste. And I'm dabbing that over the areas of my face that are the reddest. And I'm also putting it on acne. 53 years old, still getting a period every month, still getting a dot here and there of acne. It's like, I'm 53, but my body must think it's 16 or something, because what 53-year-old do you know that still gets periods every month and still gets occasional bouts with acne? It's ridiculous. But I guess I shouldn't complain because the upside is it's probably keeping me younger longer, right? Because my body is still in teenager mode. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm using a NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer. I'm just dabbing that on any acne spots that I have. And I'm dabbing it on the reddest parts of my face. And then I put my foundation on, and then just a light setting of powder on top of that. So that's another change that I've made. And another thing that I'm doing is I'm still using my NYX brow powder in Taupe Ash. Love this. But now what I'm doing to fill in my brows is my friend June, who lives in Ireland, had sent me this little Suq brush that she had gotten in, I guess, an eyeshadow palette that she bought. And we don't have access to Suq here, but she sent me this little brush with some other things that I'm going to show you in a future video. And what I've been doing is I've been using the small, tiny end and just dipping that into the lightest color of brow powder in this palette, which is sort of it's like a gray color. So I've just been using this, dipping it in there, and then doing my brows, because at first I tried using this with eyeshadow, but you know, it's really tiny. So not so great for eyeshadow application, but perfect for doing brows. So been just applying the powder with that. Then what I do is I take a medium size fluffy eye brush, such as, and again it's wet so it doesn't look normal, but this is, let's see, the Real Techniques domed shadow brush. It's the one that looks like this. And then I just kind of blend on top of what I have applied for brow powder, just to kind of blend it in so it doesn't look too dark. And I really like the way my brows have been coming out. Yeah, the empty spots are filled in, but it's not too crazy dark. It looks, you know, fairly natural. It just looks like I have perfect brows that I don't do anything to. But of course, that's the thing with makeup, you know. We spend all this time trying to do stuff, and in the end, it looks like we haven't done anything. Or that should be the goal anyway. You want to look natural but put together. So that's what I've been doing for changes. And I already told you guys that I use the Maybelline Dream Highlighting Concealer now as my eyeshadow base. It cancels out any veining and discoloration, and the eyeshadows just go on so nice over it. So yeah, those are the changes that I have made recently. And I wanted to mention it because if you're looking at the products that I list, you know, if you see HD full coverage concealer, you wouldn't really know for sure like how I was using it, because when I do under my eyes, I use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. So I'm using 3 different concealers on my face, or, you know, in my look, for 3 different purposes. And it's kind of good in a way because I have a lot of concealers in a drawer. So as I use these products up, I'm going to start, you know, replacing each one with something else that I have that's maybe similar, you know, to use them. So that is it, you guys. And wow, my hair is very, very curly and crazy today. And I have a funny feeling that it's going to be more like this on a regular basis, because the healthier my hair gets, the more it goes back to its natural state, which is kind of like almost like a spiral, a slightly loosened spiral curl, or a big wave, we'll say, is what my hair looks like naturally. I stopped. That reminds me. Somebody had asked me recently whether I color my own hair, and if so, what color do I use? I couldn't reply to you because however you have your settings on YouTube, I can't reply to any of your comments. There's just no reply button there for me to click on with your comments. So yes, I do color my own hair, and I use Garnier Champagne Blonde is what I use. So anyways, you guys, that's it. I don't want to keep you too long, and I'll see you next time. Bye.